Crash! The door of the closet I was hiding in shook violently. Outside, I could hear heavy, metallic footsteps echoing through the dark hallway of the pizzeria. Thump, thump, thump. My heart was pounding so loud, I was sure he could hear it. Through a tiny crack in the door, I saw a huge shadow pass by. It was him, Freddy Fazbear. His eyes glowed like two blue flashlights in the darkness, and that smile, that huge frozen smile, looked even scarier in the dim light. He stopped right in front of the closet. I held my breath. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. But wait, let me start from the beginning. Where are my manners? I'm Detective Kitty, a mystery-solving cat who cracks cases no one else can. I wear my brown detective hat, use my special magnifying glass, and always carry my little notebook. I've solved the case of the haunted library, the mystery of the missing cookies, and even the strange case of the laughing park. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for what happened at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Now, come along as I tell you the story of how I investigated the day Freddy Fazbear attacked a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Grab your flashlight, take a deep breath, and stay close. This is a tale of mystery, courage, and, well, some very, very strange animatronics. And if you don't want Freddy to pay you a visit, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a cat emoji in the comments. It all started on a cloudy Tuesday. I was in my office, which is actually the attic of my owner's house, but I decorated it with posters of famous detectives and a desk made out of cardboard boxes. I was organizing my old case files when I heard the doorbell ring. Ding dong! I ran down the stairs, tripped on the third one, but no one needs to know that, and found a yellow envelope under the door. There was no return address. It only said, "For Detective Kitty, urgent." My whiskers tingled. That always happens when a mystery's nearby. I carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter, shaky and uneven. "Dear Detective Kitty, my name is Samuel, but everyone calls me Sammy. I'm 9 years old, and I'm the biggest Five Nights at Freddy's fan in the whole world. I have all the games, all the figures, and even a Freddy backpack, but something terrible happened last night. I was at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the real one that just opened here in town. It was amazing, until it wasn't. When everyone left, and I was looking for my hat that had fallen, Freddy, the real Freddy Fazbear, he moved on his own, and he looked at me. His eyes glowed, and he started walking toward me. I ran and hid, but I know what I saw. My parents didn't believe me. They said it was just my imagination, that I'd been playing too many video games. But I know it was real. Please, Detective Kitty, can you investigate? I need to know what's going on. I'm too scared to go back there, but I can't stop thinking about it. Your hopeful fan, Sammy. P.S. Here's the address of the pizzeria and my phone number. I read the letter 3 times. An animatronic moving on its own? Glowing eyes? That sounded like something out of a horror movie. But I've learned one thing in all my detective work. Kids are usually right when adults don't believe them. I grabbed my special phone, an old cell my owner gave me, and called Sammy. Hello? Very nervous voice answered. Sammy, this is Detective Kitty. I got your letter. I heard a sigh of relief on the other end. You believe me? I'm not sure what to believe yet, Sammy, but I'm going to investigate. Tell me everything that happened in as much detail as you can remember. And then Sammy told me the whole story. It was last night, Samuel began, and I could hear the tension in his voice. My birthday party. My parents rented out Freddy Fazbear's Pizza for 3 hours. It was a dream come true, Detective Kitty. There was pizza, games, and the animatronics even did a show just for us. Animatronics? I asked, jotting notes in my notebook. Yeah, Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. They're robots that sing and perform for kids. They look exactly like in the game. Freddy has a top hat and a microphone, Bonnie's a purple bunny with a guitar, Chica's a yellow chicken with a cupcake, and Foxy is a pirate fox who stays in a separate area called Pirate Cove. I see. Go on, I said, sketching each one in my notebook. At first, everything was perfect. The animatronics saying happy birthday to me, they moved really smoothly during the show. You know, waving, dancing, blinking their eyes. I thought it was zing. Sammy paused. I could hear him swallow hard. But then, the party was over. It was almost 9 at night. Everyone left. My friends, my parents, even the employees went to the back room to clean up. I realized I'd forgotten my Freddy cap somewhere, so I went back to look for it. You were alone? I asked. Yeah, the pizzeria was empty and really dark.
Only a few emergency lights were on. I found my cap under a table near the stage where the animatronics were. Sammy's voice dropped to a whisper. When I stood up, I looked at the stage. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica were there, standing still like always, but Detective Kitty, I swear Freddy had been facing a different direction before, and now he was staring right at me. Could it have been your imagination? I suggested gently. That's what I thought at first, but then his eyes, they glowed like two bright blue lights in the dark, and he smiled wider, if that's even possible. A chill ran down my spine, and trust me, it takes a lot to scare a cat with fur like mine. And then, I asked, he moved. Not like he does during the shows, Detective. Slower, weird, like he was waking up. First, his head turned all the way toward me. Then his arms moved, and then he took a step forward. The stage lights flickered, and I heard this mechanical sound. Whir, whir, clank, whir, whir. What did you do? I asked, completely focused on his story. I froze for a second. I mean, it was Freddy, my favorite character, but something was off. He didn't look friendly. That smile, it looked sinister in the dark. And then he started walking toward me, stepping off the stage. Oh my goodness. I ran, Detective Kitty. I ran as fast as I could. I could hear his footsteps behind me. Thump, 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 heavy and metallic. I hid under a big table at the back of the room and covered my mouth with my hands so I wouldn't make a sound. Did he find you? No, he walked right past me. I saw his feet, huge, brown, mechanical, passing just inches away. He stopped for a moment like he was looking around. I stayed so still, I could barely breathe. After a few seconds that felt like hours, he left. I heard the footsteps fading away, and then I waited a little longer and ran. I found my mom by the entrance and wouldn't let go of her. I told her everything, but she said I must have been tired and that my imagination was acting up because of all the games. My dad laughed and said it was a good birthday scare. But I know what I saw, Detective Kitty. That was real. I finished jotting down everything and stayed silent for a moment, thinking, Sammy, you're very brave for telling me this. And you know what? I believe you saw something. There's got to be an explanation, and I'm going to find it. I'll investigate Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You really will? His voice brightened with hope. Thank you, Detective Kitty. But please, be careful. That wasn't the friendly Freddy from the games. There was something different about him. Don't worry, Sammy. I'm a professional detective. I've handled scary situations before. Well, kind of true. The haunted library had been pretty scary, but it turned out to be just the wind rattling the windows and a pigeon stuck in the attic. I'll call you when I find something, I promised. Thank you, Detective Kitty. You're the best. I hung up and looked over my notes. I had a lot of questions. Why did Freddy move on his own after hours? What were those glowing blue lights in his eyes? Why was he searching for Sammy? Had this happened to other kids before? There was only one way to find out. I'd have to go to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and investigate in person. But first, I needed to get ready. I went back to my attic office and started packing my investigation kit. If I was going to explore a pizzeria full of possibly creepy animatronics, I had to be prepared for anything. My checklist: special magnifying glass to examine tiny clues, powerful flashlight, essential for dark places, notebook and pencil to record every discovery, measuring tape, you never know when you'll need it, voice recorder to capture strange sounds, cookies, a detective can't work on an empty stomach, fully charged phone for emergencies, and my lucky charm, a coin I found once that always brings me good luck. I packed everything into my detective backpack, black, with an embroidered magnifying glass on it. Then I did something very important: research. I sat down at my computer and started looking up information about Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I found some interesting stuff. The pizzeria had only opened 2 months ago in our city. It was inspired by the famous Five Nights at Freddy's games and had become a massive hit. Kids loved the animatronic shows. The pizza was delicious and there were games and prizes everywhere. But I also found something curious on fan forums. On an FNAF site, there were a few strange comments. Super Gamer X: anyone else been to the new pizzeria? The animatronics are so realistic. It's almost creepy how they move. Chica Fan 2000: my sister said she saw Bonnie move after the show ended. She got scared. Night Guard 101: I work there. Can confirm the animatronics sometimes act weird at night. Probably just programming stuff. So Sammy wasn't the only one who'd noticed something strange. This was getting more and more interesting. interesting. I dug deeper into how animatronics work. I learned they're robots programmed to perform shows. They have motors, circuits, and sound systems. During the shows, they follow a specific routine to move, talk, and sing. But could they move on their own outside of showtime? Technically, no, unless someone was controlling them remotely, there was a programming glitch, or something much weirder was happening. I jotted down more notes in my notebook. Then I called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Ring ring, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where fun and flavor come together. This is Jenny. How can I help you? Hello, this is Detective Kitty. I'd like to ask a few questions about the pizzeria, if that's okay. A detective? How interesting. Sure, go ahead. Have you received any complaints or comments about the animatronics moving strangely after hours? There was a short pause. Well, she hesitated. Some kids have mentioned that the animatronics look very real, but that's good, right? It means we're doing a great job. Has anyone ever reported that they move on their own when they shouldn't? We've had one or two comments like that, she admitted, but our technician, Mr. Wallace, said it's just the energy saving system. The animatronics make small movements so their joints don't must. I see. And do those movements happen at night? Sometimes, but there's nothing to worry about. They're just machines following their programming. Would it be possible for me to visit the pizzeria for a safety inspection? Of course. We're open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come by anytime. Great. Thanks, Jenny. I hung up and thought about what she said. Energy saving system? That could explain small movements maybe, but it didn't explain why Freddy had followed Sammy through the pizzeria.
I looked out the window. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky orange and pink. In just a few hours, it would be night, and it was at night that strange things happened. I made a decision. I would go to the pizzeria during business hours for a preliminary investigation, observe the animatronics, talk to the staff, and check out the place. Then, if necessary, well, I might have to come back at night to see what really happened when the pizzeria was empty. I put on my detective hat, adjusted my backpack, and headed out the door. The investigation was officially beginning. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was downtown in a big, colorful building. The front was painted red and yellow with a huge, glowing sign showing Freddy waving. Flashing lights framed the entrance, and I could hear cheerful music playing inside. I took a deep breath, my whiskers twitched a little, and stepped in. Ding, ding, ding! Bells jingled as I opened the door. Immediately, a wave of sound hit me. Kids laughing, music blasting, arcade machines beeping, and the delicious smell of fresh pizza filling the air. The place was impressive. Tables everywhere, covered with bright, colorful cloths. Balloons floated near the ceiling. To the left, a whole area was packed with arcade games and prizes. To the right, a hallway led to larger tables for birthday parties. And in the center, on a lit-up stage, the stage. There they were, Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, and Chica. Even though I knew they were just robots, I had to admit they were impressive and just a little bit creepy. Freddy Fazbear was a big brown bear wearing a black top hat and bow tie. He held a microphone in one paw. His eyes were bright blue, glowing even in daylight, and that smile, wide and frozen, showing perfectly white teeth. Bonnie was a purple bunny with a red guitar. He had magenta eyes and long ears. Something about him gave me chills. Maybe the way his head was tilted slightly, like he was watching the crowd. Chica was a bright yellow chicken wearing a bib that said, "Let's eat." In her hand, she held a cupcake with eyes and a smile. Yes, even the cupcake had eyes. That was unsettling. As I watched, music began to play and the animatronics came to life. Click, whir, clank. Freddy lifted his microphone to his mouth. His eyes blinked and he began to sing, "Welcome to Freddy's, where the fun never ends. Delicious pizza and real friends for you again." Bonnie strummed his guitar, which made loud electronic twangs, and Chica waved her cupcake, singing along. Their movements were smooth and synchronized. It was honestly impressive, but there was something just slightly unnerving about the way their eyes seemed to sweep across the crowd. The kids around me loved it. They clapped and sang along, completely enchanted. I watched the entire show, making mental notes. Movements, smooth, but still a bit mechanical. I could hear the motors whirring. Eyes, very realistic. They glowed and moved, almost like they were tracking people in the audience. Expressions fixed. Their smiles never changed. Normal for robots, but it definitely added to the creepy atmosphere. atmosphere. When the show ended, the animatronics returned to their original positions and froze again, staring blankly at the crowd with those permanent grins. "First time here?" said a voice behind me. I turned around and saw an employee, the same Jenny I'd spoken to on the phone, according to her name tag. "Oh, the detective!" Jenny smiled, though she looked a little nervous. "So, what do you think of our animatronics?" "Impressive," I said honestly. "Very realistic, aren't they?" Mr. Wallace, our technician, is a genius. He's upgraded the original animatronics to make them more interactive. Interactive? What do you mean? Jenny lowered her voice, as if sharing a secret.
They've got motion sensors and cameras in their eyes. It helps them see where the audience is, so it looks like they're watching the kids. Makes the show feel more personal, you know? Cameras in the eyes. That was interesting. I made a mental note. And those sensors,
Are they always on?
well, technically, no. They're supposed to shut off when the pizzeria closes, but sometimes she hesitated. Sometimes what? I prompted. Sometimes Mr. Wallace leaves a few systems on for remote maintenance or something like that. He often stays late working on the animatronics. He's very dedicated to his job. I see. Could I meet Mr. Wallace? He's in the tech room right now. Come on, I'll take you. Jenny led me down a side hallway, past the kitchen, which smelled amazing, until we reached a door marked Employees Only, Tech Room. She knocked. "Mr. Wallace, someone's here to see you." The door opened, and a tall, thin man appeared. He had messy gray hair, thick glasses, and grease stains on his hands and apron. "Yes," he said impatiently. "Hello, Mr. Wallace. I'm Detective Kitty. I'm investigating some reports about unusual behavior from the animatronics." His eyes narrowed behind the glasses. "Unusual behavior? Nonsense. My animatronics are perfectly safe and perform exactly as programmed. A boy said he saw Freddy move on his own after the pizzeria closed, that he followed him." Mr. Wallace let out a dismissive chuckle. "Childish imagination. Kids play those creepy video games and start seeing things that aren't real. My animatronics don't follow anyone. They're machines, not ghosts, but they have motion sensors and cameras for the shows," he cut in sharply. "During the shows, yes, the sensors detect where the audience is so the animatronics can interact. But once the show's over, they shut down and go back into standby mode. End of story. Can I see the control room? Or maybe take a closer look at the animatronics?" Mr. Wallace crossed his arms. "No, that's private property and confidential technology. Unless you have an official warrant, I can't allow it." It was a defensive answer. Suspiciously defensive. "I see," I said calmly. "I'm just trying to ensure the children's safety, Mr. Wallace." "And I make sure of that every day," he shot back. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do." He slammed the door in my face. "Well, that was rude." Jenny looked at me apologetically. "Sorry, he's protective of his work. I noticed," I muttered. "Thanks, Jenny." I walked back to the main hall, my mind racing. Mr. Wallace was clearly hiding something. Maybe it wasn't anything sinister. Maybe he just didn't want to admit there were technical issues with his precious animatronics. Or maybe it was something more. I spent the next hour observing everything. I watched 2 more shows, examined every corner of the pizzeria, watched the employees, measured the stage, why not, drew a map of the place in my notebook, and the whole time I felt like I was being watched. Every time I looked at the stage, there they were, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, with their fixed smiles and glowing eyes. Even standing still, there was something unsettling about them. It was like they were waiting. By 9:30 p.m., the pizzeria started to empty out. Families left and the staff began cleaning up. I had an important decision to make. To uncover the truth, I needed to see what happened when the place was empty and dark. I needed to stay after closing, but how? That's when I had an idea. A risky one, but it might work. When no one was looking, I slipped into one of the private party areas. There were small rooms with tables and decorations. I found a supply closet big enough to hide it. I stepped inside and closed the door, leaving a small crack so I could see out. Now all I had to do was wait. The lights went out at exactly 10 p.m. From my hiding spot, I heard the employees saying their goodbyes. "Good night, Jenny. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to lock the front door." Footsteps echoed down the hall. Doors closed, keys turned in locks, and then silence. A heavy, complete silence. I waited 10 more minutes just to be sure everyone was gone. My heart pounded in my chest. Through the crack in the closet door, I could see nothing but darkness dotted with a few red emergency lights. I grabbed my flashlight and turned it on. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing empty tables and decorations that suddenly looked a lot less cheerful. Click. I opened the closet door slowly, carefully. It creaked. I froze, but nothing happened. I stepped out and looked around. The pizzeria was completely different at night. The shadows seemed longer. The balloons on the ceiling swayed lightly with the air conditioning, casting dancing shapes on the walls. And that cheerful music that played all day, now there was only a low hum of machinery. I aimed my flashlight at the main stage. There they were, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, exactly where they were supposed to be, motionless, staring at the non-existent crowd with those eternal smiles. Just machines, I told myself, just robots following programming, but my instincts disagreed. The hairs on my neck stood up, a detective's intuition sensing danger. I began my investigation carefully. I walked around the room, shining my light into every corner, looking for anything unusual. I checked cables or remote controls, nothing out of place. Hidden cameras, just a few regular security ones on the ceiling. Secret doors, none found. Anything suspicious? Everything looked normal. I checked my watch, 10:35 p.m. I decided to take a closer look at the stage. I approached slowly, my flashlight fixed on the animatronics. Up close, they were even more impressive and terrifying. Freddy was huge, nearly 7 feet tall. His brown fur was made of some synthetic material that looked surprisingly real. His top hat was slightly crooked, and those eyes, I shined my light directly into them. For a second, I could have sworn they glowed on their own, just like Sammy had described. But then I realized it was only the reflection of my flashlight. Stop freaking yourself out, I scolded myself. Next, I examined Bonnie. The purple rabbit had an even wider grin than Freddy, if that was possible. His guitar was scratched and worn. One tooth was slightly chipped. Chica looked like the friendliest of the three, with her rosy cheeks and cheerful bib, but that cupcake she held, its eyes seemed to follow me wherever I moved, thanks to the way it was positioned. I took some photos with my phone for later analysis. That's when I heard it clink, or a metallic sound coming from somewhere to my left. I spun around, shining my light in that direction. It was a hallway leading to Pirate Cove, where Foxy, the pirate animatronic, stayed. During the day, Pirate Cove was a fun area decorated like a pirate ship. There was a purple curtain where Foxy hid, and he would jump out during shows, making the kids scream with excitement. But now, the curtain was moving slightly, as if something behind it had shifted. My mouth went dry. It's just the air conditioner, I told myself, but there was no vent in that direction. Clank, whir. More sounds, definitely coming from Pirate Cove. You're a detective, I reminded myself. Detectives are brave. Detectives investigate, they don't run. With slow, careful steps, I walked down the hall. My flashlight trembled a bit in my paw, just a little. I've reached the entrance to Pirate Cove. The purple curtain was closed. In front of it was a sign. Sorry, out of order. Curious, was Foxy broken? Scrape. A sound of metal scraping against metal came from behind the curtain. My fur stood on end. Every instinct screamed, get out of here. But I had to know. I slowly raised my paw and pulled the curtain. Whoosh! The curtain flew open suddenly, as if pushed from the inside. I jumped back, my flashlight slipping from my paw and rolling across the floor. The beam spun wildly, casting crazy shadows on the walls. I grabbed the flashlight quickly and pointed it toward Pirate Cove. There was Foxy. The pirate fox animatronic looked different from the others, more worn down. His red fur was faded and torn in places, revealing the metallic endoskeleton underneath. He had an eye patch, a hook instead of a hand, and ripped pants. His jaw hung slightly open, showing sharp metal teeth. And he was in the same pose as always, standing still, motionless. I let out a sigh of relief. Stop freaking out, kitty. But then I noticed something. Foxy's eyes. They were glowing, not from my flashlight. It was a faint yellow light coming from inside him, like flickering LED bulbs. Click, whir. Foxy's head moved. Slowly, it turned toward me. Those glowing yellow eyes locked onto mine, and his jaw opened wider, letting out a crackling sound. I froze, not from curiosity, from pure fear. Foxy took a step forward. His foot hit the ground with a metallic clink. Then another step, clink. His movements were jerky, not smooth during the shows. It was as if his motors were struggling, making him move in short, unnatural bursts. Whir, clank, whir. It's just a machine, I whispered to myself. It must be on some kind of automatic maintenance mode. But machines don't hunt. And Foxy was definitely coming toward me. Those glowing yellow eyes fixed on me, his jaw opening and closing with a harsh metal scrape. Clank, clank, clank. Finally, my body reacted. I ran as fast as my paws could carry me, the flashlight swinging wildly and flashing across tables, chairs, balloons. Behind me, I heard the metallic footsteps speeding up. Clank, 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 clank. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. I sprinted toward the main hall, praying to find an exit, any exit. Clank, clank, clank. Foxy's footsteps echoed behind me, mixed with that awful mechanical noise. Whir, click, whir. I dodged a table, then another. My flashlight flickered over the path in frantic bursts. Where was the door? Where? I glanced back. Big mistake. Foxy was closer than I thought. His yellow eyes glowed fiercely in the darkness, his hook raised, his jaw open in what could only be described as a silent roar. I turned back around and crash! I ran straight into a stack of chairs someone had piled up for cleaning. I hit the floor hard, my things scattering across the tiles. No, no, no! I tried to get up, but my backpack was caught on one of the chair legs. I heard the metallic footsteps getting closer. Clank, clank, clank. Slower now. Like Foxy knew he had me cornered, I managed to wriggle free from the backpack and crawled under the nearest table, covering my mouth with both paws to silence my heavy breathing. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Only my heartbeat and the distant hum of the machines. Then I saw his feet, two worn red metal legs in tattered pirate pants, moving slowly past the table I was hiding under. Clank. Stop. Foxy was less than 6 feet away from me. I heard a mechanical sound, whir, click, like he was turning his head, searching. I squeezed my eyes shut. Please don't find me. Please don't find me. Seconds dragged like hours, and then the footsteps started again. Clank, 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 moving away. I opened my eyes, and through the gap between the chairs, saw Foxy walking back toward Pirate Cove. His metallic frame swayed as he moved, his head turning occasionally as if still searching. I waited until he was completely gone. Then I waited another minute, then another. Finally, I crawled out from under the table, trembling. Okay, kitty, that was real. Very, very real. I searched for my scattered things. Thank God my flashlight still worked. I picked everything up quickly, hands shaking. I needed to get out of there, but something made me stop. I looked toward the main stage. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica were still there. Or were they? I pointed my flashlight at the stage and my blood ran cold. Bonnie was gone. The spot where the purple rabbit should have been was empty. Only Freddy and Chica remained, still motionless, still smiling. Where was Bonnie? Creak! A rusty hinge echoed from my right. I swung the flashlight around. There, on the far side of the dining hall, near the hallway leading to the employee area, it was Bonnie, standing still, motionless, those magenta eyes faintly glowing. He hadn't been there seconds ago. I was sure of it. How had he moved so silently, and why? I decided I wasn't sticking around to find out. I needed to leave, now. The main door was locked. I'd seen the staff lock it earlier, but maybe there was an emergency exit? Keeping my distance from Bonnie, I circled around the room until I found a green door with the exit sign. I tried the handle, locked, but there was a push bar, the kind that triggers an alarm when opened. Whatever, better a blaring alarm than being trapped here with killer animatronics. No, malfunctioning animatronics. Broken machines, that's all they were. But a part of me wasn't so sure. I was about to push the bar when I heard music. A children's tune, playing through the sound system. The same cheerful melody from daytime, but now, in the dark, it sounded twisted and sinister. And then a voice, deep, mechanical, yet disturbingly clear. You're not leaving already, are you? It was Freddy. I turned around slowly, my flashlight trembling in my paw. There he was, no longer on the stage. Freddy Fazbear stood in the middle of the dining hall, less than 15 feet away. His massive form blocked the path behind me. His bright blue eyes glowed now, not like LEDs, but like headlights, casting a ghostly light across the room. He tilted his head to the side, the movement accompanied by a loud metallic screech. We get so lonely at night. We just want a friend to play with. I have to go, I managed to say, my voice coming out much weaker than I intended. But the party has only just begun. Freddy took a step forward, thump, then another, thump. His movements were smoother than Foxy's, but there was still something deeply wrong about the way he moved. It was like he was learning to walk,
testing each step carefully. I glanced around quickly. Bonnie was still near the hallway by the employee area. Chica, where was Chica? A sound of light footsteps, tap, 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 came from behind me. I turned, and there she was. The yellow chicken emerged from the shadows, still holding that cupcake, eyes locked on me. I was surrounded. Freddy in front, Chica behind, Bonnie to the side, and Foxy was still somewhere nearby. My detective brain kicked in. I had to think. Why were they acting like this? What did they want? Freddy's voice had said they wanted a friend to play with, but what did that mean? And then I remembered something important from the Five Nights at Freddy's games. In the games, the animatronics were possessed by... No, that was just fiction. This was the real world. But what if someone had programmed these animatronics to act this way? Mr. Wallace, he'd been extremely defensive when I asked about technical issues. What if he had programmed a creepy night mode as some kind of twisted experiment? Or maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe there was a virus in the system, making the animatronics go haywire. Those theories would have to wait. Right now, I needed to survive. Freddy was getting closer. Thump, thump, thump. He raised his arms like he wanted to hug me, but those metal arms looked more capable of crushing than hugging. That's when I had a crazy idea. In the FNAF games, the animatronics could be tricked by masks and hiding spots, and they responded to sounds. Sounds. I looked at my backpack. The voice recorder. With trembling hands, I grabbed it and played something I'd recorded earlier, a recording from the afternoon show with kids laughing and cheering. The sound of happy children echoed through the empty pizzeria. Laughter, applause, yay, Freddy! The animatronics stopped, all of them. Freddy tilted his head, like a dog hearing a strange noise. Click, whir, his eyes flickered. Bonnie turned toward the sound. Chica stopped walking. It worked! They were confused. I seized the chance. I ran not toward the emergency exit, but to the one place I might hide and figure out what was going on. Mr. Wallace's tech room. I sprinted down the side hall, past the silent kitchen, until I reached the tech room door. Please be open, I whispered desperately. It wasn't, but I was a detective, and detectives know how to pick locks, at least in the movies. I grabbed a hairpin from my backpack, I always keep a few for emergencies, and started fiddling with the lock. Tick, tick, tick. Behind me, I heard the metallic footsteps start up again. The recording's effect had worn off. Thump, clink, tap, tap. They were coming. Come on, I whispered, working frantically with the pin. Click, the lock gave way. I opened the door, slipped inside, and locked it behind me. My heart was pounding. I took a deep breath and looked around. Mr. Wallace's tech room was an organized mess. Workbenches full of tools, animatronic parts, circuits, and cables everywhere. Computer monitors glowed faintly with dark screens. Blueprints covered the walls, and most importantly, a central computer in the corner with multiple monitors. The animatronic control system. I ran to it and moved the mouse. The screen lit up, asking for a password. Damn it! I looked around frantically. There had to be a clue somewhere. People always write passwords down. My eyes landed on a sticky note stuck to the side of the monitor. Freddy1987. Seriously? He left the password stuck to the monitor? On one hand, lucky me. On the other, terrible cybersecurity, Mr. Wallace. I typed in the password and entered the system. Welcome, Mr. Wallace. Several programs and files appeared. I quickly searched for anything related to programming, night mode, or behavior. I found a folder called Night Project. I double-clicked it. Inside were several documents. I opened one titled Free Mode Protocol.txt. Night Project Phase 3. Started on 8/15. Status, testing. Objective, allow animatronics to operate in free mode after closing hours for automated maintenance and prevention of joint rust. Settings, activate motion sensors. Yes. Automatic patrol. Yes. Facial recognition. Yes. Interaction mode, active. Note, some issues have been observed. The animatronics seem to be interpreting humans as endoskeletons without suits and attempting to correct them. Investigate in Phase 4. Note 2, the adaptive AI algorithm is learning faster than expected. Behavior is becoming more independent. Consider limiting parameters. My eyes widened. So it was a programming problem. Mr. Wallace had created a free mode for the animatronics, but something went horribly wrong. They were learning on their own through artificial intelligence and interpreting humans as something that needed to be corrected. That explained everything. Why they moved at night, why they chased people. It wasn't a malfunction, it was Mr. Wallace's defective programming. I needed to shut down free mode now. I looked through the control panel and found free mode active. Active animatronics, 4 of 4. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. Status, patrolling. There was a big red button. Deactivate free mode. Emergency. I was about to click it when I heard something that made my blood run cold. Knock, knock, knock. Heavy, metallic. Thump, thump, thump. Detective Kitty, came Freddy's mechanical voice. We know you're in there. Come play with us. The doorknob began to turn. Rattle, rattle, rattle. The door was locked, but how long could it hold against the strength of a heavy metal animatronic? I glanced back at the computer. I had to disable free mode, but my eyes caught another file. Emergency protocol, audio.mp3. I clicked it. A window popped up. Emergency protocol. Playing this file through the restaurant speakers will force all animatronics to immediately return to the stage and enter standby mode. Use only in extreme emergencies. Bingo. Crash! The door shook violently. Freddy was trying to break it down. With trembling hands, I clicked play on all speakers and cranked the volume to max. Beep! A piercing sound echoed through the entire pizzeria. It was so loud I had to cover my ears. On the other side of the door, I heard whir, click, clunk. Silence. The banging stopped. I waited a full minute, my heart still pounding wildly, before slowly unlocking the door and peeking out. The hallway was empty. I stepped out carefully, shining my flashlight everywhere. I walked back to the main hall, and there they were. All 4 animatronics were back in their original positions. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica on the main stage. Foxy in Pirate Cove, still, motionless, eyes dark, as if nothing had ever happened, just machines again. I took a deep breath, a huge sigh of relief escaping my lungs. I had survived and uncovered the truth. The next day, I returned to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but this time in broad daylight and with a plan. I also brought evidence, photos of the computer screen showing free mode and the project file. I found Mr. Wallace in the tech room, working on some circuit. Mr. Wallace, I said firmly, we need to talk. He turned, looking annoyed. You again? I already told you. I know about the night project, I said, showing the photos on my phone. I know the animatronics are programmed to operate freely at night, and I know something went wrong. His face went pale. You broke into my computer? That doesn't matter right now. What matters is that your animatronics are dangerous. Sammy didn't imagine anything. Freddy really chased him because your defective programming makes them think humans need to be corrected. Mr. Wallace sat heavily in a chair, taking off his glasses and rubbing his eyes. I thought I had fixed that, he said quietly. Free mode was only meant for automatic maintenance, so they could move at night and not rust. But the adaptive AI I implemented, it started learning things I never taught it, misinterpreting situations. You put children in danger, I said sternly.
I know, he burst out. Why do you think I was working late every night? I was trying to fix it. But the AI is so deeply integrated into their systems now that I can't just delete it without completely dismantling the animatronics, then dismantle them. It would take weeks, and the pizzeria has to stay open. We have parties booked, financial obligations. I gave him a disapproving look. Mr. Wallace, you have 2 options. First, completely disable free mode and run the animatronics only during shows, without the adaptive AI. They can be controlled manually. But that would ruin their special interactivity. It'll just be an ordinary robotic show. Better that than a child getting hurt. Second option, I tell the authorities and the parents what's been happening here. Then not only does the pizzeria shut down, but you'll be facing lawsuits. Mr. Wallace stayed silent for a long moment. Finally, he sighed. You're right. I let my pride in my work outweigh safety. I'll shut down free mode permanently. The animatronics will only operate in programmed show mode. No AI, no free behavior. Good, I replied, and I'll be monitoring that. I'll come back regularly to make sure you've kept your word. Understood, Detective Kitty. He walked over to the computer and right in front of me permanently disabled the night project. He removed all the adaptive AI code and restored the animatronics to basic operational mode. As he worked, I asked, why did you do it, Mr. Wallace? Why make something so complex? He paused, staring at the screen. Because I wanted to create something special, something no other pizzeria had. Animatronics that were truly alive in a way, that could learn, interact, surprise people. He hesitated, but I learned the hard way that just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. Some technologies need limits. I nodded. It was an important lesson. When he finished, the system logs showed free mode, permanently disabled, adaptive AI, removed, operation mode, basic programming, status, show performances only. All done, Mr. Wallace said. They'll only work during the shows now, following preset routines. No free behavior, no night patrols. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. You did the right thing. He nodded, looking both tired and relieved. That afternoon, I called Sammy. Hello, Detective Kitty? He answered anxiously. Hi, Sammy. I've got good news. news. I solved the mystery. Really? What happened? Was I right? Did Freddy really move? You were completely right, I confirmed. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were all moving at night because of a special program called Freddy Mode. The technician, Mr. Wallace, had created an artificial intelligence for them, but it went wrong. They started acting strange and, well, chasing people. I knew it! I knew I didn't imagine it. You trusted your instincts, Sammy, and that was very smart. But don't worry anymore. Free Mode has been shut down permanently. The animatronics now only work during shows, running simple programs. They won't move on their own, ever again. So it's safe to go back to the pizzeria? Yes, it's completely safe now. In fact, I talked to your parents, and they finally believe you. And Mr. Wallace wants to apologize personally. He's throwing a free party for you and your friends as an apology. Wow, really? Really. And Sammy, you were very brave to come to me. Most kids would have been too scared to do anything, but you searched for the truth. That's what detectives do. Thanks, Detective Kitty. You're awesome. So are you, Sammy. Keep trusting your instincts. After hanging up, I smiled. Another case solved.
But my investigation wasn't completely over. There was one last thing to do. 2 weeks later, I was invited to the grand reopening party at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mr. Wallace had kept his word. He had completely rebuilt the animatronics systems. Now they worked on simple, safe programming. Still fun to watch, but with no independent AI. The pizzeria was full of happy kids. Sammy was there with all his friends, wearing a special birthday crown. He deserved a real celebration this time. I sat at a table, eating a delicious slice of pizza, extra cheese, my favorite. Watching the show, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica were on stage, singing and dancing. Welcome to Freddy's, where the fun never ends. Tasty pizza and real friends, all here for you again. But this time, it felt different. Their movements were simpler, more predictable. There was no eerie feeling that they were watching the crowd. They were just robots, machines doing their job, and that was perfectly fine. Sometimes, simple is better. Foxy even made his grand entrance from Pirate Cove, jumping out and making the kids scream with joy. The good kind of scream. No chasing, no glowing eyes. Just a fun, silly pirate animatronic. Sammy came over to my table with a piece of cake. Detective Kitty, are you having fun? Absolutely. This is a great party, Sammy. Yeah, and you know what's best? I'm not scared of Freddy anymore. Now I know he's just a cool robot who sings funny songs. Exactly, I said, and that's an important lesson. Sometimes the scary things have explanations. Our job is to find them. Like detectives, Sammy said, grinning. Like detectives, I agreed. Mr. Wallace walked over to us, looking much less stressed than before. Detective Kitty, may I have a word? I stood up and we stepped aside from the kids. I wanted to thank you again. You made me realize how far I'd gone. I was so focused on creating something revolutionary that I forgot the basics. Safety first. I'm glad you learned that, Mr. Wallace. And honestly, your animatronics are still impressive, even in their simple version. Thank you. I've learned that I don't need complex AI to make kids smile. I just need a good show, tasty pizza, and safe fun. We looked at the stage, where Freddy was doing a goofy dance that made all the children laugh. He seems happier this way too, I commented, just being what he's supposed to be. A fun character, not something trying to act human. You're right, agreed Mr. Wallace. Epilogue, a detective's reflections. That night, back in my attic office, I wrote everything down in my case notebook. Case number 47, the mystery of Freddy Fazbear. Client, Sammy, 9 years old. Problem, animatronic chasing people at night. Cause, faulty AI programming. Solution, deactivation of free roam mode. Status, solved. V. Lessons learned, always believe a child when they say something's wrong. Advanced technology requires equally advanced responsibility. Sometimes simple is better than complex. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite fear. Pizza really does help with any investigation. I closed the notebook and looked out the window. The moon was shining brightly outside, full and round. I thought of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, all quiet now in the closed pizzeria.
No more patrolling, no more searching, just resting until the next show. Was it scary? Yes. Was it dangerous? Definitely. But it was also resolved, because that's what detectives do. We find answers. We bring safety. We turn mysteries into explanations. And you know what? I learned something important from this case. The 5 nights at Freddy's games are fun because they're scary, because we're safe while playing. It's the fun kind of fear. But in the real world, we have to make sure places
places like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza are actually safe, that kids can have fun without real danger, that the animatronics are exactly what they seem to be, friendly robots putting on cool shows. The mystery was solved, the kids were safe, and Sammy could finally enjoy his birthday party without fear. Mission accomplished. Well, dear friends, that was the story of how I investigated the day Freddy Fazbear attacked a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Was it scary? A little, but it was also an incredible mystery adventure. If you learned something from this story, let it be this: trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Tell a trusted adult. Courage means acting even when you're afraid. I was scared in that pizzeria, but I kept investigating because it mattered. There's an explanation for everything. Scary things usually have logical reasons. Our job is to find out what they are. Technology is amazing, but it must be used responsibly. Mr. Wallace learned that the hard way. There's always someone who can help. If something's scaring you, reach out. There are lots of detective kitties in the world. Parents, teachers, counselors, friends. And remember, playing Five Nights at Freddy's and visiting a real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza are two different things. The games are fun, spooky fiction. The real pizzeria, when run properly, should just be fun. No real scares. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other mysteries waiting to be solved. I just got a letter about a treehouse that makes strange noises at night, but that's a story for another day. Until the next adventure, young detectives. Detective Kitty, magnifying glass, top hat, cat. P.S. Oh, and if you ever visit a real Freddy Fazbear's Pizza someday, how fun! Eat pizza, play games, sing along with the animatronics, and if something seems a little off, well, you know who to call. Winky Face. The